All right, so today we're diving into something pretty amazing.
Right.
The top 10 foods that can actually help prevent cancer.
Okay.
We're going to be kind of unpacking some incredible insights from this physician who's been working in this field for over 25 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot of time.
And, I think one of the most interesting things about this physician's approach is just how much emphasis they put on being proactive, really taking control of your health.
Yeah.
And especially when it comes to protecting your DNA through your diet.
I think that's so interesting and important. We tend to think of modern medicine as the be-all and end-all, but what they're arguing here is that what you eat plays a massive role in lowering your risk of developing cancer.
It's almost like looking back at how ancient cultures sort of stayed healthy, without all the pharmaceuticals.
Yeah.
Like, we're talking about actually using natural compounds to strengthen our bodies
Yeah.
at the cellular level.
At the cellular level.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
No.
I like that.
And you might be surprised by some of these foods.
Oh, yeah.
So
Okay.
take shiitake mushrooms, for example.
Okay.
They have this really special sugar molecule called lentinin,
Okay.
and it actually gives your immune system a boost, which indirectly helps to eliminate cancer cells.
So sugar that fights cancer.
Exactly. Not something you hear every day.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
So how did we even discover this lentinin?
Well, back in 1969,
Oh,
there was a Japanese scientist who stumbled upon it.
okay.
And, since then, there's been a ton of research on its anti-cancer properties.
Yeah.
And basically, lentinin makes your immune cells, like macrophages and natural killer cells, much more effective at targeting and destroying cancer cells.
So it's like giving your body's natural defenses a serious upgrade.
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool.
And in Japan, they've actually been using intravenous lentinin to improve quality of life for cancer patients.
What?
And in some cases, it's even extended their lifespan, especially those with advanced lung cancer.
That's
Pretty amazing.
amazing. I wonder why it's not more widely used as a treatment option then.
Well, I think it's important to remember that lentinin works best when combined with other therapies,
Okay.
like chemotherapy, for instance.
Gotcha.
Studies have shown that it can actually make drugs like gemcitabine and paclitaxel even more effective.
Oh, so it's not like a cure on its own, but a powerful tool to be used alongside other treatments.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
And while intravenous lentinin isn't available here in the U.S.,
Right.
you can still get the benefits by simply, including shiitake mushrooms in your meals.
Okay.
Just make sure you cook them well.
Good point.
Okay, moving on to another powerhouse,
Yes.
turmeric.
Turmeric. Love it.
This golden spice has been used in Ayurvedic medicine for centuries,
Yeah.
and science is finally catching up to its incredible health benefits.
So what's the big deal with turmeric?
Well, turmeric's claim to fame is curcumin.
Okay.
It's the active compound,
Right.
and it's a super powerful anti-inflammatory, and it's been shown to actually hinder tumor growth.
So it's kind of like a double whammy,
Yeah.
boosting your immune system and at the same time making it harder for those cancer cells to develop?
Exactly. And
Yeah.
there's this really fascinating story about how turmeric extract was actually used
Okay.
to reverse DNA damage caused by arsenic poisoning in Bangladesh
Oh, wow.
back in the 1970s.
I did not know that.
Millions of people were exposed to really dangerously high levels of arsenic in their drinking water.
Wow.
And they used turmeric extract to help reverse that damage.
That's a real testament to turmeric's protective properties.
Yeah. There's this common belief
Yeah.
that you need black pepper to help your body absorb turmeric.
Right.
Is there any truth to that?
I always thought so. Is it a myth?
It's kind of a myth.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
While black pepper does contain piperine, which can increase the amount of curcumin available in your bloodstream,
Okay.
it doesn't directly boost absorption.
Oh, okay.
What it really does is it extends the amount of time curcumin stays active in your body.
So it's more about prolonging curcumin's effects rather than increasing that initial amount your body takes in?
Exactly.
Okay, interesting.
And you can actually enhance curcumin absorption in other ways, too.
Oh, okay.
Bromelain, for instance,
Okay.
which is found in pineapple,
Right.
is one option.
Yeah.
And there are also liposomal formulations of curcumin
Okay.
that basically encapsulate it for better delivery.
I see.
So lots of different ways to sort of unlock that power of turmeric,
Right.
whether you're adding it to your dishes or, choosing a supplement.
Gotcha. Okay.
Now, let's talk about kale.
Okay.
I'll admit I wasn't always a fan,
Yeah.
but learning about its health benefits
Right.
especially when it comes to fighting cancer.
Yeah.
Definitely changed my mind.
So what's the big deal with kale? Why is it so good for you?
Well, kale's a nutritional gold mine.
Yeah.
It's packed with, vitamins and minerals,
Right. Yeah.
but also this particularly powerful compound called sulforaphane.
Okay, sulforaphane. Now that seems to be a recurring theme here.
It does, doesn't it?
Another one of those compounds that's helping our bodies get rid of harmful substances and stop those cancer cells from growing.
Exactly. It's amazing how
It's pretty amazing.
our bodies have these like built-in defense mechanisms.
Yeah.
And we can actually enhance them through the foods we eat.
I know, and there's a really interesting trick to getting the most sulforaphane out of your kale.
Oh.
Massage the leaves before you eat them.
What?
Yeah, helps break down the cell walls, and it allows two important molecules, glucoraphanin and myrosinase,
Okay.
to combine and create that sulforaphane.
So just by massaging your kale,
Yeah.
you can boost its cancer-fighting potential.
Yeah. What are some of your favorite ways to prepare kale?
Well, I'm a big fan of a whole food plant-based salad dressing that I make,
Oh, sounds delicious, yeah?
which
You got it.
can convert even the most stubborn kale skeptics.
Okay, you have to share this recipe.
All right, so it's really simple.
Okay.
You just blend together a carrot, a green onion, a bell pepper, about an inch of ginger, a garlic clove, and a few dates.
Okay.
Then you add a teaspoon of miso paste, a little water, and blend until smooth.
Okay.
Pour that mixture into a bowl, add a tablespoon of sesame seeds and a teaspoon of sesame oil, and give it a good stir.
Sounds delicious already. I'm writing this down.
The dressing's so good you can practically drown your kale.
Wow, that's saying something.
Besides sulforaphane,
Yeah.
what else makes kale such a powerful cancer fighter?
Well, kale's benefits go beyond just fighting cancer.
Right.
It can also help lower blood pressure
Okay.
and improve blood flow, which is really essential for delivering those cancer-fighting immune cells to where they need to be.
So it's like paving the way for those cells to reach their destination.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it's worth noting that other cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and Brussels sprouts share a lot of these benefits.
Okay.
They've been linked to a lower risk of pancreatic and prostate cancer,
Oh, wow.
and they can even help regulate blood sugar levels.
So it seems like including a variety of those cruciferous vegetables in your diet is a smart move for overall health
Definitely.
and cancer prevention.
Yeah.
Awesome. Now, how about we talk about a berry that offers double the benefits? Black raspberries.
Black raspberries. I love berries.
Yeah. What's so special about black raspberries?
Well, they're not as common as regular raspberries,
Right.
but they have this really unique combination of nutrients.
Okay.
You'll find them mainly in the Pacific Northwest and Asia.
Gotcha.
What makes them stand out is their high concentration of anthocyanins.
Anthocyanins.
Those powerful antioxidants found in blueberries.
Oh.
Yeah.
I see.
So are you saying black raspberries are like a supercharged blueberry?
Not quite.
Yeah.
They have those anthocyanins like blueberries,
Yeah.
but they also have these bioactives that are similar to regular raspberries.
Okay.
It's like getting the best of both worlds
Ah.
in one tiny fruit.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. So, any studies that prove how effective they are?
Yeah, there have been some promising studies.
Okay.
One actually found that a gel made from black raspberries
Okay.
actually shrunk premalignant oral lesions,
Oh, wow.
which is pretty remarkable.
That's incredible. It makes you think about the potential they have for preventing other types of cancer.
Yeah, and black raspberries also contain ellagic acid.
Ellagic acid.
You might remember that from our discussion about walnuts.
Right.
It's that potent compound that binds to toxins that can damage our DNA, reducing the risk of mutations that could lead to cancer.
Oh, that's right.
And to top it off, the anthocyanins in black raspberries help reduce inflammation in the gut, which can lower the risk of colorectal cancer.
It sounds like black raspberries are a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, I think so.
Definitely going to have to start adding those to my grocery list.
I think you should. Now, how about we shift gears to a drink that's been revered for centuries for its health benefits?
Okay.
Matcha green tea.
Oh, matcha.
I'm a big fan of green tea, but I have to admit, matcha can be a bit much for my taste buds.
Yeah. I could see
And
that.
what makes it so special compared to regular green tea?
Well, matcha is like green tea on steroids
Okay.
because you're getting a mega dose of antioxidants and those beneficial compounds in every sip.
So it's like the superhero version of green tea.
I like that.
What's the best way to enjoy it without that intense bitterness?
Well, I used to struggle with that too, but I discovered a simple trick. Add it to warm soy milk.
Oh, okay.
The creaminess of the soy milk just balances out that bitterness, and it creates this surprisingly delicious drink.
I'm going to have to try that.
Yeah, let me know what you think.
Okay. I know there's been some debate about whether or not green tea can really fight cancer.
Yeah.
Can you clarify that?
Well, the FDA has been a little hesitant to fully endorse green tea as a cancer preventative,
Okay.
and that's because of a lack of large-scale clinical trials.
I see.
But that doesn't necessarily mean it's ineffective.
Right.
It's really difficult to get funding for research on food-based interventions
Yeah.
as opposed to research on like isolated compounds or drugs.
So it's more of a funding issue than a scientific one.
Exactly.
Right.
And despite this lack of these massive trials, smaller studies are showing promising evidence that supports green tea's protective effects.
Yeah.
For instance, one study found that green tea extract significantly reduced DNA damage in people with precancerous lesions.
Wow.
And if you look at countries with high green tea consumption, like Japan and China,
Right.
they tend to have lower rates of certain cancers.
Interesting. So it sounds like the evidence, while not conclusive,
Yeah.
suggests that green tea, especially matcha,
Mm-hmm.
could be a valuable part of a diet aimed at preventing cancer.
I think so.
Okay, great.
Absolutely. Speaking of history, let's talk about walnuts, a nut that's been prized since ancient times.
Oh, nuts.
Yeah, they're known for boosting brain power.
Yeah.
But what about their cancer-fighting potential?
What makes them so special?
Well, walnuts are like these little nutritional powerhouses,
Right.
packed with omega-3 fatty acids, antioxidants, and a compound called ellagic acid.
Ellagic acid.
Yeah.
That seems to be a recurring theme in our cancer-fighting foods.
It does, doesn't it? It's amazing how these compounds just show up in such a variety of foods.
That is.
And remember how we talked about ellagic acid binding to those DNA-damaging toxins?
Great.
Well, walnuts actually take it a step further.
How so?
Well, the ellagic acid in walnuts is broken down by your gut bacteria into urolithins,
Okay.
which are even more potent at fighting cancer.
So our gut bacteria are actually working with these foods to boost our defenses.
Exactly.
It's fascinating how our bodies are so interconnected with the food we eat.
It really is, yeah. It's really cool. And these urolithins also have some pretty impressive effects on cellular health.
Right.
They've been shown to improve mitochondrial function, which is crucial for energy production and keeping our cells healthy, especially as we age.
So they're like tiny energy boosters for ourselves.
I like that analogy.
And since walnuts are already known for their heart-healthy fats
Right.
and their ability to lower cholesterol and inflammation,
Yeah,
it seems like they're a true all-star
they are.
when it comes to health and disease prevention.
Now, let's talk about another seed with ancient roots. Flax seeds.
Flax seeds.
Did you know that ancient Egyptians believed that flaxseed oil was so powerful
Right.
it could sustain the soul in the afterlife?
Wow, that's quite a belief.
It is, isn't it?
What
No.
makes flax seeds so special?
Well, flax seeds are a great source of omega-3 fatty acids, just like walnuts,
Okay.
but they also contain lignans,
Okay.
which are especially beneficial for hormone-driven cancers, like breast cancer.
So they offer sort of a two-pronged attack against cancer?
That's right.
Okay, and I've even heard anecdotal stories about flax seeds promoting longevity.
Oh, yeah.
Well, my mother-in-law, who's in her 90s, has been eating flax seeds every day for decades.
Wow.
And she's a testament to their potential health benefits.
That's amazing. It's always inspiring to hear about people who are maintaining their health and vitality as they age.
Yeah.
And there is scientific evidence to support flaxseed's role in fighting cancer.
Okay.
Studies have shown that they increase the production of IL-1 receptor antagonist,
Right.
which is a molecule that blocks the activity of IL-1,
Okay.
which is a pro-inflammatory molecule that can actually promote cancer growth.
Flax seeds are basically helping our bodies put the brakes on inflammation and cancer development.
Exactly.
Gotcha. Now let's move on to another ancient food that's been a staple in Asian cultures for centuries.
Okay.
Tofu.
Tofu.
Tofu sometimes gets a bad rap,
It does.
but I think it's such a versatile and nutritious food.
It is.
What makes it a cancer fighter?
Well, tofu's made from soybeans,
Right.
which are rich in isoflavones.
Okay.
And these compounds act as selective estrogen receptor modulators,
Good.
meaning they can block the harmful effects of estrogen,
Gotcha.
which can contribute to those hormone-driven cancers.
So they're helping to keep our hormone levels balanced and that estrogen in check.
Precisely.
And unlike dairy milk, which doesn't actually strengthen bones,
Right.
soy products like tofu can actually support bone health.
Yeah, that's interesting how much misinformation there is out there about soy.
All right.
It's really a shame
It is.
because it's such a valuable source of protein and all those other nutrients.
Now, let's talk about a more common mushroom,
Okay.
the humble white button mushroom.
Okay, white button mushrooms, I bet most people have those in their fridge right now.
Exactly. And they're so powerful.
So what makes them a cancer fighter?
Well, white button mushrooms might not be as exotic as she takes,
Yeah.
but they offer their own unique benefits,
Okay.
especially when it comes to preventing breast cancer.
Really? I
Yeah.
had no idea.
Yeah.
What makes them so effective?
Well, they contain conjugated linoleic acid,
Okay.
which is a compound that inhibits the activity of aromatase,
Okay.
an enzyme that converts androgens into estrogens.
So, like tofu, they're helping to regulate those estrogen levels.
Exactly. And it's fascinating how different foods can
Mhm.
work in different ways to achieve the same goal.
Which is.
And besides conjugated linoleic acid,
Yeah.
white button mushrooms also provide selenium,
Okay.
ergothioneine,
Right.
and B vitamins,
Mhm.
all of which help protect against DNA damage.
It's like they're offering this multifaceted defense against cancer.
Exactly.
Okay.
It makes you wonder, what other hidden gems are hiding in plain sight
Right.
at the grocery store?
Exactly. Yeah.
Finally, let's talk about a staple that often gets misunderstood.
Okay.
Beans.
Beans.
They're incredibly nutritious and affordable,
They are.
but they sometimes get a bad rap because of their phytate content.
Right.
Can you explain what phytates are
Okay.
and why people are sometimes concerned about them?
So phytates or phytic acid
Yeah.
are these compounds that are naturally found in the seeds of plants,
Okay.
including beans, grains, nuts, and legumes.
Right.
They act as a storage form of phosphorus for the plant,
Okay.
but they can also bind to certain minerals in our digestive tract and potentially reduce their absorption.
So it's like they're preventing us from getting all the good stuff.
Well, that's a common concern, but it's important to look at the bigger picture.
Okay.
While phytates can reduce the absorption of some minerals, they also have beneficial properties, particularly when it comes to preventing cancer.
Really? So they have both pros and cons.
Exactly.
Okay.
Studies actually suggest that phytates may inhibit cancer cell growth,
Wow.
induce cancer cell death,
Okay.
and even reduce the spread of cancer.
Wow. So maybe we shouldn't be so quick to dismiss phytates.
Right. Exactly.
Okay. And are there ways to minimize their negative effects
Yeah,
without losing their benefits?
absolutely.
Like what?
Well, simple techniques like sprouting,
Okay.
soaking, adding something acidic,
Okay.
like lemon juice or vinegar, to the soaking water,
Right.
fermenting,
Okay.
and cooking beans thoroughly can significantly reduce their phytate content.
Those all about preparing them correctly.
Precisely.
Okay, great.
And if you're concerned about mineral absorption,
Yeah.
you can always eat beans with foods high in vitamin C, which helps with iron absorption,
Okay.
or just make sure you're eating a balanced diet with plenty of mineral-rich foods.
So it sounds like beans, even with the phytates, can be a valuable addition to a cancer preventative diet,
Absolutely.
especially when prepared properly.
Especially when prepared properly, they're a sustainable, affordable, and nutrient-packed food that benefits both our health and the planet.
This deep dive has been a revelation. We've explored such a diverse range of foods,
Yeah?
from exotic berries to, common mushrooms,
Right.
all packed with these incredible compounds that can help us fight cancer.
It's amazing.
It's amazing how nature provides us with everything we need
I know.
to thrive.
It really is. What's even more remarkable is that a lot of these foods have been staples in ancient cultures,
Yeah,
that are known for their long lifespans.
Right.
It seems like we have a lot to learn from their wisdom.
I completely agree. Now, before we wrap up part 1 of this deep dive,
Okay.
I want to leave our listeners with something to think about.
Yeah.
If you could significantly impact your long-term health
Mm-hmm.
just by adding a few of these foods to your diet,
Right.
what changes are you willing to make?
That's a great question. It's easy to feel overwhelmed by all this information,
Yeah.
but remember, small changes can
Yeah.
make a big difference.
Absolutely.
Start by trying out new recipes, exploring different ways to enjoy these foods,
Mm,
and most importantly, paying attention to how your body responds.
that's so true.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for part 2 of this deep dive, where we'll take an even closer look at the science behind these incredible foods and uncover even more fascinating insights into their cancer-fighting potential.
Awesome.
All right.
Can't wait.
Talk to you soon.
See ya. Welcome back to our deep dive into the top 10 cancer-fighting foods.
We've already uncovered some incredible insights into how these foods can actually help our bodies defend against cancer.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing stuff.
And now we're going to go even deeper and explore the science behind these remarkable effects.
Awesome. I'm excited to dive in.
All right, so let's start with the shiitake mushrooms.
Okay.
And that special sugar molecule, lentinin.
Yeah.
I'm really curious to learn more about how it actually works to fight cancer.
Well, lentinin is a complex carbohydrate that has this amazing ability to activate different parts of our immune system.
So it's not just about having more immune cells.
Yeah.
It's about making them work better.
You got it. Lentinin's been shown to increase the activity of macrophages, natural killer cells, and T cells.
Okay.
All of which are crucial players in finding and destroying cancer cells.
So it's like giving our immune system a total makeover.
I like that analogy.
And what's fascinating is that lentinin doesn't directly attack cancer cells.
Right.
It triggers the immune system to do the hard work.
Exactly. It's like a behind-the-scenes strategist, orchestrating this powerful defense.
Yeah. And this indirect approach is why lentinin is so well tolerated.
Yeah.
It doesn't come with, a lot of those harsh side effects you often see with conventional cancer treatments.
That's a huge plus.
Okay, so let's shift gears to turmeric and its star player, curcumin.
Curcumin, love that stuff.
We touched on its anti-inflammatory properties.
Yeah.
But I'd love to know more about how it actually stops tumors from growing.
Well, curcumin is what we call a multi-targeted compound.
Okay.
It's kind of like a chef using a blend of spices to create a complex flavor.
Okay.
Curcumin can actually affect several different processes that contribute to cancer growth.
So it's like hitting cancer from multiple angles.
That's right. One of its key targets is a protein complex called NF-kappa.
Okay.
This protein plays a big role in inflammation and cell survival.
So by reducing NF-kappa activity, curcumin can essentially put the brakes on inflammation and stop cancer cells from multiplying.
Exactly. And it doesn't stop there. Curcumin also inhibits angiogenesis.
Angiogenesis.
Which is the formation of new blood vessels.
Right.
And this is essential for tumors to grow and spread.
So it's like cutting off the tumor's supply lines.
Yeah.
Preventing it from getting the nutrients and oxygen it needs.
Yeah. You got it. And it's this ability to target multiple pathways that makes curcumin such a formidable opponent in the fight against cancer.
It's amazing how such a simple spice can have such potent effects.
It really is.
Now let's move on to kale.
Okay.
We've already talked about sulforaphane.
Yeah.
But I'd love to learn more about how this compound actually works its magic.
Well, sulforaphane is a powerful activator of what we call phase 2 detoxification enzymes.
Okay.
These enzymes are essential for neutralizing and removing carcinogens and other toxins from the body.
So our bodies have like a natural way of getting rid of these harmful substances.
They do.
That's reassuring.
It is, yeah.
And sulforaphane doesn't stop at just removing toxins.
Right.
It also helps protect ourselves from damage caused by free radicals.
It's like a double whammy detox and protection all in one.
And here's another fascinating thing about sulforaphane.
Okay.
It can actually switch on genes that fight cancer and switch off genes that promote cancer growth.
That's incredible.
It is. This area of research is still fairly new.
Right.
But it's showing great promise.
That's so cool.
It's amazing how this simple compound from kale can have such a profound impact on our bodies.
Now, what about black raspberries? We talked about how they're packed with antioxidants.
Right.
But I'd love to understand how those antioxidants actually work to protect our cells.
Okay.
Well, black raspberries are rich in anthocyanins, which are a type of flavonoid.
Right.
And flavonoids are known for their vibrant colors.
Yeah.
Think of the deep color of blueberries or the red of cranberries. But they also have these incredible health-promoting properties.
So they're not just pretty to look at.
Right.
They're actually doing good things inside our bodies.
Exactly. Anthocyanins are powerful antioxidants, meaning they can neutralize free radicals, which are those unstable molecules that can damage our cells and lead to various diseases, including cancer.
It's like they're little bodyguards for our cells.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
And anthocyanins don't just fight free radicals. They also have anti-inflammatory properties.
Okay.
So, they can help calm down that chronic inflammation that's often linked to cancer development.
So they're reducing damage and soothing inflammation at the same time.
They are.
They really are multitaskers.
And here's another interesting thing.
Okay.
They can actually influence signaling pathways involved in cell growth and proliferation.
So they're helping to keep cell growth in check.
Precisely. Yeah.
With all these benefits, it's no wonder that black raspberries are considered a valuable addition to a cancer preventative diet.
Absolutely. Now let's talk about matcha green tea.
Matcha, okay.
We mentioned its concentrated antioxidant power,
Right.
but I'm curious to learn more about the specific compounds that give it those anti-cancer effects. Well, matcha is loaded with a catechin called EGCG.
EGCG.
Yeah, which is considered one of the most potent antioxidants found in nature.
That sounds pretty powerful.
It is. EGCG has been extensively studied for its anti-cancer properties, and it's been shown to inhibit tumor growth, cause cancer cells to self-destruct,
Wow.
and even prevent cancer cells from spreading.
So it's like a triple threat against cancer.
Yeah, I like that. And what's fascinating is that EGCG, like sulforaphane, can also influence gene expression, which means it can affect which genes are turned on and off.
So it's like it has this this extra level of control over what's happening inside our cells.
Exactly. And it's not just about EGCG.
Okay.
Matcha also contains other beneficial compounds like L-theanine, which is known for its calming and focus-enhancing effects, and caffeine, which can give you a boost of energy and speed up your metabolism.
So it's like a perfect blend of energy and relaxation.
Yeah. Matcha is truly a remarkable beverage for both your body and mind.
Now let's move on to walnuts.
Okay.
Those brain-boosting wonders.
Yeah.
We talked about how they contain ellagic acid, which gets converted into urolithins by our gut bacteria.
Yes.
I'd love to learn more about those urolithins.
Okay, so urolithins are basically byproducts created when our gut bacteria break down ellagic acid.
So it's like a team effort between the food and our gut microbiome.
That's a great way to think about it. And these urolithins are getting a lot of attention for their potential health benefits, especially when it comes to fighting cancer and inflammation.
We talked about their ability to improve mitochondrial function, which is like powering up the energy centers of our cells.
Yeah.
But how else do they work?
Well, urolithins can influence various signaling pathways involved in cell growth, inflammation, and kyphoptosis, which is the process of programmed cell death.
Right.
So they're like tiny messengers helping to regulate those crucial processes that can go wrong in cancer development.
And what's even more interesting is that different types of urolithins has different effects.
Right.
This suggests that the specific mix of bacteria in our gut can actually influence how our bodies respond to these compounds.
That's amazing.
It's like our individual gut microbiomes are shaping how we benefit from the foods we eat.
Precisely.
And this highlights how important it is to maintain a healthy gut microbiome by eating a diverse diet that's rich in fiber.
Absolutely. Now let's talk about flax seeds.
Flax seeds. Okay.
Those tiny seeds with ancient roots and remarkable health benefits.
We mentioned their high lignin content.
Yeah.
Could you explain how those lignins help fight cancer?
Well, lignins are phytoestrogens, which are plant compounds that can weakly mimic the effects of estrogen in the body.
So they can act like estrogen.
Yeah.
But in a much milder way.
Exactly. And this is where their cancer-fighting potential comes in.
Okay.
Lignins can bind to estrogen receptors, potentially blocking the effects of more potent estrogens that can fuel the growth of hormone-sensitive cancers, like breast cancer.
So they're like taking up space on those receptors, preventing the stronger estrogens from doing their thing.
And that's a great analogy. And lignins don't stop there.
Oh.
They also have antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties, adding to their their protective effects.
So it's like they're offering a multi-pronged defense,
Right.
regulating hormones,
Yeah.
reducing inflammation, and protecting cells from damage.
Exactly. And it's worth noting that flax seeds are also an excellent source of fiber,
Right.
which is essential for a healthy gut microbiome and contributes to overall health.
Okay, so let's revisit tofu.
Okay.
We discussed how its isoflavones can act as selective estrogen receptor modulators.
Yeah.
But can you elaborate on their specific effects
Okay.
on hormone-sensitive cancers?
Well, soy isoflavones, just like lignans, have weak estrogenic activity,
Right.
allowing them to bind to estrogen receptors and potentially block the effects of those stronger estrogens that can contribute to cancer growth.
So they're helping to keep those hormone levels in check.
Right.
Yeah, and isoflavones go beyond just acting on estrogen receptors.
Right.
They also possess antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties,
Exactly.
adding to their protective effects.
Yeah.
It's like they're taking a holistic approach to cancer prevention,
Yeah.
addressing various aspects of cellular health.
Exactly. And it's important to remember that soy foods have been safely consumed
Right.
for centuries in Asian cultures,
Yeah.
dispelling some of those myths surrounding
Yeah.
soy and its potential health effects.
Now let's turn to white button mushrooms.
Right. Yeah.
We talked about how they can inhibit aromatase,
Yeah.
the enzyme that converts androgens to estrogens.
Right.
Can you explain how that mechanism works?
So aromatase is a key player in estrogen production.
Okay.
So by inhibiting aromatase, white button mushrooms can essentially lower the amount of estrogen circulating in the body.
So it's like they're helping to starve those cancer cells of
Yeah.
the hormones they need to grow.
You got it. And in addition to their aromatase inhibiting properties, white button mushrooms also provide other beneficial compounds
Right.
like selenium, ergothioneine, and B vitamins,
Right.
all contributing to their overall health benefits.
Okay. Last but not least,
Yeah.
let's dive back into the world of beans and their phytate content.
Okay.
We've discussed how phytates can have both pros and cons.
Right.
Can you help us understand this complex relationship a little better?
So as we mentioned before, phytates can bind to certain minerals in our digestive tract,
Right.
potentially reducing their absorption.
But we've also learned that that they have antioxidant,
Yeah.
anti-inflammatory, and even anti-cancer properties.
That's right. It's all about striking a balance.
Yeah.
And we talked about different ways to prepare beans
Right.
that can reduce phytate levels without sacrificing their benefits.
Exactly.
So sprouting, soaking, using an acidic medium, fermenting, and thoroughly cooking beans can help break down those phytates, making the nutrients easier for our bodies to absorb.
It's like unlocking their full potential.
Right. And remember, phytates aren't inherently bad.
Okay.
They're a natural part of plant seeds
Right.
and play a role in plant health.
So it's more about being aware of their presence,
Yeah.
and taking steps to optimize our intake.
Exactly.
And if you're still concerned about mineral absorption,
Right.
you can always pair beans with foods rich in vitamin C.
Yeah.
Or make sure you're eating a balanced diet
Mhm.
with plenty of mineral rich foods.
Absolutely.
So it sounds like beans, even with those phytates,
Yeah.
can be a valuable part of a cancer preventative diet.
Absolutely. They're a sustainable, affordable, and nutrient-packed food
Right.
that can benefit both our health and the planet.
This deep dive has been such a fascinating exploration
It has been.
into the world of food and how
Yeah.
it impacts our health.
Yeah, we've uncovered the incredible power
Yeah.
of these 10 cancer-fighting foods.
And delved into the science
Yeah.
behind their impressive effects.
And in the final part of our deep dive,
Yes.
we'll shift gears and focus on practical strategies for incorporating these foods into
Wonderful.
our everyday lives,
Sounds good.
making them a delicious and sustainable part
Yeah.
of our journey toward optimal health.
All right, so stay tuned for more insights and inspiration
Yeah.
as we continue our deep dive into the top 10 cancer-fighting foods.
Can't wait.
Welcome back. We've explored the science and the history behind these amazing cancer-fighting foods.
And now we get to the fun part.
Okay.
Actually figuring out how to bring them into your kitchen and onto your plate.
All right, so let's get practical.
Yeah.
I'm all for eating healthy, but I can't exactly live on shiitake smoothies and black raspberry salads every day.
That's where a little creativity comes in.
Okay.
Finding what works for you and your lifestyle.
All right, give me some inspiration. Let's start with
Okay.
shiitake mushrooms.
Okay.
Any ideas beyond like the usual stir fries?
Have you ever tried shiitake bacon?
Shiitake bacon.
Yeah, you just marinate them and then bake them until they're nice and crispy.
Okay.
They're amazing in sandwiches, salads, even crumbled over pasta.
You know, that's thinking outside the box.
Right.
What about turmeric?
Okay.
I already sprinkle it on everything,
Yeah.
but I'm sure there are other ways to use it.
Oh, definitely. Golden milk is a classic, of course. But have you ever tried turmeric hummus?
Turmeric hummus?
No, so good. Or adding it to smoothies.
Okay.
You might be surprised how versatile it is.
I'm getting hungry just thinking about it.
Me too. Okay, now for kale,
What?
I know you've mastered the massage technique,
They have.
but what else can you do with it besides salads?
Well, that's a good question.
Kale chips are a great healthy snack.
Okay.
But here's a pro tip.
Oh.
Massage your kale with a bit of lemon juice before adding it to soups or stews.
Really?
It helps to tenderize it.
That's brilliant.
Yeah,
A little acidity goes a long way.
it does.
Okay. Now, black raspberries
Like
can
that.
be a little hard to find.
Right.
Any suggestions?
Frozen berries are perfect for smoothies or chia pudding.
Okay.
You can also find black raspberry powder online, which is great for adding to yogurt or oatmeal.
That's a good workaround.
Okay.
Matcha.
Matcha.
I'm sold on the soy milk combo, but any other ways to kind of tone down that bitterness?
A touch of honey or a sprinkle of cinnamon
Okay.
can do wonders.
All right.
And if you're feeling adventurous,
Yeah.
try making matcha energy balls with dates, nuts, and coconut.
Those sound delicious.
They are.
And perfect for a quick energy boost. Okay, walnuts are already a staple in my pantry.
Right.
But any
Oh, yeah.
creative ways to use them?
Walnut pesto is fantastic.
Walnut pesto.
Oh, my gosh. So good.
Okay.
You can also toast them and add them to salads or grain bowls for a crunchy texture.
Okay.
And don't forget about walnut butter.
Oh, of course.
It's amazing on toast or apple slices.
I'm starting to see a trend here. Everything's better with walnut butter.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay,
Yeah.
what about flax seeds? I usually just sprinkle them on my cereal,
Right.
but is there more to it than that?
So ground flax seeds are easier to digest
Okay.
and can be added to baked goods or smoothies.
Yeah.
You can even use them as an egg replacement in some recipes.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Okay, tofu seems like it has endless possibilities.
It does.
But what are some of your favorite ways to prepare it?
I love it in stir fries and curries,
Yeah.
but air fried tofu is a game changer.
Air fried tofu. Okay, you've officially convinced me to try that.
Let me know what you think.
All right, white button mushrooms.
All right.
So common, yet so powerful.
I know, it's amazing.
Any ideas beyond the usual stuffed mushrooms?
You can blend them into sauces or soups for this creamy, earthy flavor.
Okay, that's a great tip.
Yeah, it's really good.
And I never thought of using them that way.
It's a nice, subtle flavor, too.
Okay, finally, beans.
Okay.
I love them in Chilean soups.
Yeah.
But are there any other interesting ways to use them?
Bean burgers are always a good option.
Right.
Have you ever tried roasted chickpeas?
Roasted chickpeas.
Oh, they're so good.
Okay.
Crunchy, addictive snack. Or a great topping for salads.
Right.
And don't underestimate the power of a simple bean salad
Yeah.
with fresh herbs and a flavorful dressing.
This has been such a helpful deep dive.
It has been fun.
I feel equipped with a whole arsenal of delicious ways to fight cancer
Right.
and nourish my body.
And remember, it's not about being perfect.
Yeah.
Just start by adding a few of these foods into your routine
Mhm.
and see how you feel.
That's right.
It's about making sustainable changes that make you feel good.
Yeah.
Not adding stress to your life.
And don't forget about the bigger picture.
Right.
These foods are just one part of a healthy lifestyle.
Exactly.
Things like exercise, managing stress, getting enough sleep are also crucial for preventing cancer and living a healthy life.
So true. It's all about creating that balanced approach to well-being,
Yeah.
taking care of our bodies inside and out.
Before we wrap up,
Yeah.
I want you to think about this.
Yeah.
As we've explored the incredible power of these foods, we've also tapped into the wisdom of ancient cultures
Right.
and the importance of listening to our bodies.
so important.
It's a reminder that nature gives us everything we need to thrive,
Yeah.
and that true well-being is about finding that sweet spot
Yeah.
between ancient wisdom
Right.
and modern science.
I love that.
What small changes can you make today
Yeah.
to nourish your body and honor your health? Keep exploring,
Yeah.
keep experimenting, and most importantly,
Yeah.
keep listening to your body's innate wisdom.
So true.
Thanks for joining us on this incredible deep dive into the world of cancer-fighting foods.
It's been a pleasure.
Until next time, stay curious, stay nourished, and stay well.
See you next time.